So the Unison Orchestra was conceived of on a walk with my wife, Nora. It was, I think, second week of March during the pandemic. And I knew that I had this HBO show to make music for, Lovecraft Country. And I knew it needed a big orchestra. And I knew the entire world was going on lockdown. So it posed a little bit of a problem that needed a solution. So I called Lisa and I called Brad and I said, look, how can we do this? How can we have an online orchestra, have everybody in their own spaces, completely protected, and together we really form the Unison Orchestra. And the name of the orchestra is exactly what it is. It's about this concept of what togetherness means and what that means in terms of making music together and having an orchestra perform together. There are so many cool things about writing for this band. First of all, you have to rethink orchestration. You know, Brad has done a gorgeous job setting up members of the orchestra so that you have some sort of simulation of what it is to be in a room. So normally when you're writing for orchestra, you think of the first violins being one group, and then the second violins being below them, and then the violas being below that. But when your first violinists are the same violinists as your second violinists, you don't want to do the normal stuff that you do with the first and second violins, right? You don't want them in unison for more sound. Sort of where they are in terms of register, in terms of what's high and what's low, is no longer relevant at all, right? So I started writing these incredible lines that if I needed support for the first violins, I would use the violas, which I never would have done before. And then the second violins became this active and balletic group, so that a lot of times the second violins would go above the first violins, and there was this kind of interplay between those two groups that I had never played with. And I realized that so much great string writing, like the English string tradition, Britten, Vaughan Williams, plays with this, with these kinds of ebullient arcs of orchestration. So that was one thing that was utterly different. The other thing was, if you've got a contrabass clarinet or you've got a contralto flute, you better have a quiet moment in the orchestra, right? Or else you're never going to be able to hear them. Well, with Unison, you can hear everything, right? So you want the contralto clarinet to be in there with the tuba and support the low end of the orchestra and provide that buzz. You got it, because it's just a move of a fader. What I love about Unison is that everybody is safe. Everybody is in their own space, and as much as we miss being together right now, we need that. And I love the idea of parents being able to spend more time with their kids and not be on the road for an hour and a half in LA to get to a gig. There's a beautiful caring for each other that I think is a part of the aegis of the orchestra.